Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing on this fantastic July the 5th? We are open. As you can see, the dollar is getting just a little bit of a bid coming out of the London session. That level that I have up there marked is the old high that was put in the last time the dollar was trading at these prices back in June the 15th. So we have just taken out that high. So this is a level that is interesting to us simply to see if the dollar gets bullish continuation. Now this asset is bullish, and if you look at a year-to-date chart, you can see just how bullish it is. This is the absolute perfect, the perfect trend, if you will. So while everything else has been getting crushed year-to-date since, the Fed pivoted from a very dovish stand, the dollar has pretty much been the asset that people have been buying. So we will keep an eye on this today. But we got to go over here and get to what everybody really wants to talk about, and that is Bitcoin. Before we do that, I'm going to roll with something. So just give me a minute. Bitget, the new partners for the Trade Talk community. They have received regulatory licenses for the US, Canada, as well as Australia, making them a trusted exchange. Perfect for US users and no KYC. They have different options such as Quanto, which is a swap futures contract, as well as copy trading. Trading on Bitget can be done through either the mobile app or web applications. Bitget has built a reputation of being a safe, dependable, and valid platform. Compared to most popular crypto exchanges, Bitget has by far the lowest transaction fees. The trading platforms are easy to operate, making the deposit and withdrawal process very straightforward. Placing trades on the platform is easy and executions are fantastic. The user interface is nice to look at and not clunky like other exchanges I've used in the past, so if you would like to give Bitget a chance, there is a link in the description down below, and use my referral code XTSC. Once again, that is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie. When you sign up, make your first on-chain or fiat deposit, transfer it into your USDT margined futures account, and you will receive a tiered reward of up to $4,000. Show them some love. New sponsor. Click the link. All right, so let's go on over here to Bitcoin real quick and let's talk about this monster here. All right, so basically what we've seen is, daily support held. We've been watching this level for a very long time. This is going to be daily support right here, this upper line, $18,948. We did get, below that, but we watched these levels on a closing basis. Yesterday, you had a nice expansion to the upside with a strong close. All right, this is good. This is what we want to see. We want to see prices start to trade away from the level. However, with this being said, you must maintain that Bitcoin is in a downtrend, and basically anytime you get a move up in price, sellers will attack that. They will start to sell the swing highs, looking for more continuation to the downside. Is it possible that we get more continuation to the downside? I absolutely believe it is, 100%. But if we are looking for daily support to hold, and we are looking to position ourselves for a monthly expansion for July, then we have to look at it is the potential July low in. So here is your July low sitting down here at $18,755.75. If this level holds throughout the month, then this is the low, and this is where we were trying to position ourselves long. Now, I have been adding to my HODL portfolio. I have been adding to that while we've been down here, and I've also taken several buy positions with leverage for day trades, closing those out or getting stopped out after we take profits. We have taken several successful trades down here just watching $18,948. If you go into the intraday charts, you're going to see just how beautiful that held. I mean, just look at this. Here was that July wick. Boom, that sets the low. Then you trade and you basically just hover right there at daily support. You had multiple daily support tests, multiple times to get long. All right. If you stick to the strategy and you take profits at intraday resistance near the high of the day, then you will indeed be okay. move your stop to break even. This way, if price comes back down, stops you out, you had a successful trade. All right, so that's what we're trying to do here. Be successful traders, or what I'm trying to help you achieve. All right, so we have an hourly demand level right here for now, $19,804. This is the first level that I was watching. You can see that we are clearly trading under it for now. So we're not just going to, take an obvious buy position here just yet. We do want to wait until about 9:30 in the morning, or preferably after 7, before 10. That's the zone where we like to take our entries during the New York session. So we want to see, price tag or trade away from this level or down here, the 618. This 618 is yesterday's expansion. So it's just from yesterday's swing low to yesterday's swing high. Well, that was yesterday's high, because this is the open of a new day. So this wick right here on this candle, that's yesterday's high. So it's just from swing high or swing low to swing high. 618 retracement is there. Now it's also in confluence with intraday support. All right, so that's going to be your intraday support. If you lose 19,509.16, then it's probably going to go lower. All right, so keep that in mind. I do want to see this continue. It does look good so far, but if yesterday gets completely retraced, then it's bearish, not bullish. I mean, it's bearish anyways. The overall trend is bearish, and it's sideways. We've only been trading sideways down here for a couple weeks. Last month had a monstrosity of an expansion. You can see that there. Boom. This is a very big expansion to the downside. It's almost a 50% candle in itself. Let's get a look at it, what it is here. 44.7% on that monthly alone. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to see Bitcoin cement a new monthly low for July and then expand away. And our target for this expansion is going to be $25,338. That's this month's swing low. That is as high as I'm expecting this to go. Now, we do have other technical things that could suggest that go higher, but this is as far as I'm looking for it to go. I'm basically just looking for a retest of this swing low, right? And that would basically close any kind of doubts that, it could continue to go lower after that. And if we do get, up to $35,000 again, which, we'll go into why here in a second. But if we do get back into that area, that is where I will put on another short position. All right. All right. So let's go over here to the daily. Let's start talking about some technical reasons why we think, that this expansion could happen. First and foremost, it's just extended to the downside. But just because it's extended to the downside does not mean that it will go higher. Going over here to the CME futures, you can see all the gaps. Our lowest gap down here has successfully been filled. Now, I know it hasn't tagged the very low end of that gap, but you got to remember that in markets, you have something called the spread. All right? The spread can stop you out. The price doesn't have to get there. The spread can do it itself. And since that's the case, 18,550 is that wick low. Down here is 18,450. So that's a $50 spread. So that gap is filled. You have filled the gap. You have a new gap up here that occurred when you drop down below that support. So that's unfilled. And then obviously the $35,000 gap, which happened here, is unfilled. Now this one is a small gap as well. It's just about, about $700. So technically Bitcoin's spread can get wider than $700, but this is like a far out in the middle of nowhere observation. I'm not looking for price to trade back up there, but if it did, I absolutely would look to hammer that home with a fantastic short position, and then I would probably sit in that short position for a while. All right. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was reading a comment. All right, so yeah, this is old monthly support down here at $25,000. So this is why we're looking for this gap to potentially get filled. We don't trade for the gap fills, right? We take positions based on levels, daily supports, things like that. Trying to get long down here is 100% trying to pick a bottom. You are doing that. Yes, we are. All right. So if you go over here, CME gaps, you do have daily bullish divergence happening on the RSI. You do not have this divergence on the spot market, okay? Only on the futures market, only on the CME futures. You can see how Bitcoin is putting in on price lower lows. The oscillator is putting in higher lows. That is the very definition of bullish divergence, and that divergence has not played out yet. All right. In order for that divergence to play out, we got to get a spike on the oscillator. If we get that spike anywhere in this region here, then you can consider that to be played out, and maybe even start looking for short positions after that. And just because we do have bullish divergence on the CMEs does not mean Bitcoin's going to go higher. It's just a technical signal. That is all it is. And we don't very much use those signals as long as we're looking for a retrace on the monthly. That's what we're watching for. We are extended with 3 months of straight down, dropping, over 50%. So we want to see Bitcoin get that relief rally, and that's what we're trying to position ourselves for. We can stop doing that if we lose support. This is back over here on the spot market. If I pull this out, you're going to see that you have a pitchfork here. That is a channel to the downside. Has done really, really good of holding the outer boundaries of this. All right, but you can also see if you pull up the Bollinger Bands. Oh, I got to get on a different chart. I don't have it over here. That mean is coming closer, right? So it could roll right back over once that occurs. All right, so here is the Bollinger Bands. We're going to pull that up, show you what I'm talking about. You have returned to the mean on this indicator, right? Not all mean reversion indicators will say this, just the Bollinger Band. But you can see what happened last time. You had an expansion to the downside, volatility compressed as price traded sideways, bringing the mean into it, then dropping lower. So be careful. If you are looking for a short down here, if you are bearish on Bitcoin and you think this thing is going to zero, the levels for you to watch to take a short position, first one obviously is going to be daily res, 21,478. Second one, higher daily res, 22,562. If you are short on Bitcoin, these are the areas to look to do that, okay? You don't want to short it down here because you're shorting into support, and we are looking for a relief rally. So during that relief rally, if we do get up into this region, if you're that bearish on the asset, watch those two prices for your short entries. I myself am not looking to short Bitcoin, not anywhere down here. If we get back up to old monthly support, then maybe. All right, then maybe. We'll talk about that when we get there. But right now, I'm looking for a relief rally. I'm not looking for new all-time highs. I'm just looking for a relief rally. I am a trader. This is what I do. I trade in between these ranges, whether it's a daily, weekly, or monthly range. That's what I look to do. I look to position myself for that. All right, now we can go over here and look at this other one. You're going to see that you're very far from the mean. The mean has moved lower. The last time that we looked at this indicator, the mean was setting right at monthly support at $35,000. We have went lower. That is expected. This will do that. This indicator will do that. It will, every time you get a daily closure under $22,000, this thing is going to migrate lower. All right. This is a more of a longer term type of indicator here. And you can definitely see that you are in the outer bounds of stretchiness. Now, this indicator does not hold price always. When it gets extremely volatile, it will break out of it completely, as we did over here when we were so uber freaking bullish. Remember that? Right. And we can do that again to the downside, guys. There's no written rule that says this is going to be the low, right? We're just looking to see if we have a new monthly low. If that's going to be the monthly low for July, then we want to position ourselves long. Once again, if we retrace all of today's or yesterday's range, then, we're probably not going to be looking for that, right? Because the dollar is moving up, and it is moving up rapidly. What we wanted to see the dollar do is once it take out that swing high, we wanted to see it reject As if that were the case, taking out this swing high and then rejecting, that could suggest that this was nothing more than a liquidity run or a stop run. But since you broke out with a big strong candle, you see how that line is essentially the midpoint of this bullish candle. That looks to me like you're going to see a little bit more continuation to the upside on the dollar. All right. Now, I didn't pay attention to any market news, anything. I did not even look at charts over the weekend. Didn't do an upload. I did nothing. I unplugged. I had to get away. So I spent 3 days of staring at the ocean with a beer or a drink in my hand. We had a fantastic time, but now it's time to go back to work. So I don't know if this is just people are buying the dollar or if something happened, right? It doesn't really matter if we got news events or not, because we know what we're looking for and we watch price. Price will tell us what's going on, all right? And right now it looks like it's trying to go higher, right? Trying to go higher. So you're well above any swing high. A rejection up there doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we're very, very, very early into the session. You're still trading near, like you're a couple hours from the London session. You haven't even hit the New York session yet. And we know that the New York session is when the last bit of volume comes in for these assets. So we'll be looking to see if the dollar does start to find a little bit of resistance and roll back over. That would help Bitcoin's case. But as long as you got that big, massive spike to the upside on the dollar, then Bitcoin's taking a hit, right? It's taking a hit. We're very much underneath the level that we were watching right now. So, keep your eyes peeled on 19,509. All right. Everything's against Bitcoin right now. The trend, everything. So it's possible that it continues to go lower. Good morning, team. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning to all of you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for your time. Can you please take a look at CVXUSDT on Bitget? Yeah, let's go look at it real quickly and then we'll move on. I want to look at some other things. CVXUSDT on Bitget. It's into resistance right now. All right, so right now you are into daily res. So you can't buy it here. What you want to do is you want to buy it at support. I know you know that. You're in here almost all the time. So you basically know what you're looking for, right? This was daily support. You traded down into it. You got an expansion, right? That's what we got off of Bitcoin. Same exact scenario. Trade back down to support. You get a bullish expansion. You get 2 days of down. Then you trade back up. That's what we're looking for to play out on Bitcoin. Something similar to this. We don't care if today's red. We don't care if tomorrow's red. What we do not want to see is that expansion day's low to get taken out. Because if you do that, then this is nothing but a trap. And we're probably going to see more prices lower. But right now, you're into resistance on this. Right? Can this level act as support if you get a big breakout? It's possible. But this is likely going to do whatever Bitcoin does. If yesterday's move up was just a selling opportunity, then this is a selling opportunity on this. If Bitcoin starts to become bearish, this will too, right? More than likely. These cryptos stay pretty close to one another because the same firms providing liquidity do so on most exchanges. That's why they look so similar, all right? So you're into resistance here. If you're looking for a short, I wouldn't short this either, not here. It's just so extended to the downside. But on this chart, we don't have much info, right? We don't even have a year-to-date chart. April is the first time. I mean, that's all we got, April. So we don't know what happened before that. I don't know how much this is off by looking at this one, but it's probably off 80%, 90% like other ones. Nothing has happened in the macro to change the bearish trend. Nothing at all. So keep that in mind when looking to buy shitcoins. All right. But like I said, as long as this swing low down here stays intact, I still like it to the upside. If we start trading lower than July's swing low, All right, we start taking out July's low, then you are probably going lower. All right, because this will more than likely be July's high. You got me? This is July right here, so that's the high. So until we get that taken out, this is your high, this is your low. So we want to see this hold. We want to see this get taken out before this, right? That will let us know that Bitcoin's probably going to get a move up. But once again, it's going to be right into resistance there and there. So it doesn't look great. It's not a big day of expansion at all. It was just a bullish pop up off of support. But I do like it. That is tradable. You can make money when that happens. You get long at support. You take profits as it moves away from your level. Then you move your stop to break even. Boom, shakalaka. You made money and you move on. You wait for the next big level to get to participate at. All right. So the next level intraday on Bitcoin is going to be this. This is the level that we're going to be watching, 19,509. That's intraday support. So if the dollar's getting a rip, euro's probably taking a hammering. It is. Let's go over here and see where we are. You're at new lows. New freaking lows on euro. Remember, the trends are your friend until the end of the trend. So trying to get long on Bitcoin is not suggested. It's just something that I'm doing. But you have a downtrend here, and it's making new lows. There's nothing to do on euro today simply because that the move has already occurred. SPX just trading within, I mean, not really much of anything here. You do have a support at 37.58. New support for potential long entries 37.78. Here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. So this is your SPX. This is just a selling opportunity. You trade back down to your first support. That is where you bounced. You've been trading there for 4 days. Hardly able to get any kind of bullish momentum going at all. So this push higher, now that you're red on the day, this to me looks like it was just stopping out anybody that got short on June the 29th, June the 30th, July the 1st, and July the 4th. Anybody that got long or short on any one of these 3 days or 4 days is now stopped out. That generates enough liquidity to start moving lower. This is the new support. This is the support that held price. So one of these two areas, if you're looking for price to continue higher, you need to see these two levels hold. A daily close below 37.58, then the next area is 36.57. So if you lose this area here, then your target will be 36.76. That's if you lose this one. All right. Obviously, if you can get long, first profit target number 1 on SPX is going to be 38.2480. That's if you get long down here at support, not here today where you are currently. Do not get long today, please. You are fighting what looks obvious to me, that you wait for a support. You got to wait for this. So if you were to get there and then bounce, that would be your first profit target. Second target, 39.13 resistance. Right? Let's move on. USD JPY has been absolutely crushing it. So we have dollar strength today. But what's going on here? Looks like it is finding a little bit of resistance at daily supply. This is yen strength. This is yen strength because the dollar's bullish right now. So it looks like the yen is stronger than the freaking dollar, which is something we haven't seen all year. Let me pull up something here just to see where we currently are sitting on the currency strength. Nope, USD is stronger than JPY by 0.17%. So the yen is the second strongest currency on the day. That's why you're seeing, this come down. But the dollar is still stronger. So support is currently holding. Intraday support on the yen is currently, or US dollar JPY. So 135.685, if that level holds, then you could potentially look for getting long on this for today. Let's see what we look like on the currency futures. Yeah, it's just a spike to the upside. Just a spike to the upside. So we'll see what happens, how it ends up. But I kind of like USD JPY for more strength if the dollar maintains its bid. The reason we got to be really careful here is because this old high, that is where liquidity sets. So if the dollar starts trading back under 105,788, that's going to be really good for our long position on Bitcoin. And that'll look really good to me as a potential long on Euro USD for the near term. Because what that then starts to look at is, yeah, there was a lot of liquidity up here. Lots of it. And this just went up to get it all. If it starts to immediately roll over and we start trading back under 105,788, I'm going to like that a lot. I'm going to like it a lot for the near-term bullish position on Bitcoin. All right, so pound, let's go take a look at it. It's down almost 0.69%. So it looks like FX isn't going to give us a trading opportunity because everything is already moving. You know what I mean? Everything is already moving. Pound is down a lot. Can't get short this, not down there. Our pound Aussie long that we were looking for last week did work out, but price ended up coming right back down. It didn't work out perfectly, but once you set in this trap here, boom. You see what I mean? That's what we were looking for on it. This right here. This is what we got. That was what we were looking for. Then we traded right back down. Got another spike. That's probably sellable. Let's see here. Aussie dollar. That's nothing. We knew that was going to be there because Aussie and Euro are the weakest currencies on the day. Aussie and Euros, weakest currencies on the day. It'd be nice to see the Japanese yen get a little bit of strength, simply because there's a big opportunity on downside over here on Aussie yen. The level we have been watching is this up here. We almost got to it and then rolled right back over. And you can see that, like today, where was the level to get short on Aussie yen if you were taking this position during the London session? Right there. That was the level. That's not because I'm going back in hindsight. It's simple. It's daily res right there. Daily resistance. Reached right up to it. Boom, down. So that would have been the short to take on Aussie yen. Now there's nothing to do, right? Nothing to do because you're stretched out. You're down almost 1%. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have on watch. So nothing to do in FX. Very little to do until we get that move on the dollar, start to do what we want it to do. Then we'll be able to get a new long entry today on Bitcoin. What's up, says West DZ. What is up, my friend? Run DMC 555. Remember, we were looking at the highest number of red weeks on Bitcoin. I think the 2 week hasn't seen green in months. It hasn't. No, I mean, there's no denying what we have here on Bitcoin, and that is 100% bearishness. In fact, you really can't get any more bearish than that. So if this is, 2 week sessions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. 7 2 week sessions in a row, closing bearish. Right? So we'll see what happens here. The weekly doesn't look good either. Right? Look at the weekly, guys. The last 3 weeks has been choppy. But there has been executable positions to take. Weekly res is up there, $21,000. That's what I need to see us get above, right? I want to get above that. But it's struggling to do that. Weekly supply right there. Boom, down. but we're coming back into it. This does look good to me. In the near term, it does look good. I like it long as this candle's low is in. And that's just where I stand. Good morning, Jay Bradley. How are you doing, my friend? Heath, can you look at FX pair USD ILS? I've never even heard of that. Let me go look at it. Israeli shekel. Wow. I can trade this pair. Looks really good. You're coming into monthly resistance. I mean, you tagged monthly resistance. So it's probably gonna, when you trade up into these regions, they will offer a bounce in most cases. And you got that bounce yesterday, right? Here you traded up into monthly res, bounce went lower. So if you're looking for short entries on this, you're right where you need to be. Yep. So if you were going to short this, it's got a 39 pip spread. So it is what we classify as one of those crazy pairs with massive spreads. It's exotic, if you will. It trades like crap. Like, I hate when I see this stuff, but big, strong wicks. Those are liquidity getters for sure. Stop runs all over the place. But this is the level to short if you're looking for a short. Does that mean a short position is going to work out here today? No, it doesn't mean that at all. You're bullish on the day, so you're fighting against the near-term trend. But that is daily resistance. So if that level holds, if you start trading away from it, then I like the short. And I would simply be targeting support. I mean, the 3-day looks bullish, right? So I don't necessarily like the short, but if I were to take the short, target would be 35.07. This would be my entry. This would be my target if I was going to short it. But remember, I'm not. It's bullish. This asset is bullish. You're above the 50. I would not be looking to short this. But if you're going to do it, you're into monthly support or monthly resistance. So, you did get that bounce yesterday, and the fact that you're right back to yesterday's open could be suggestive that this thing wants to break out. But if you like it short, watch daily resistance. All right? If you start closing hourlies above 35.2911, you leave it alone. Okay? Start closing hourlies above this level, you leave this asset alone. But it does look like it, had a little bit of a rejection there at monthly res. US dollar is strong, so this is suggesting that the Israeli shekel is stronger than the dollar right now. All right. Edom, I took the BTC long trade yesterday, all thanks to you, my sir. Yeah, I'm just trying to teach you guys how to do this yourself. That's the goal of the channel. That was the entire goal. When I set out to make the channel, it was teach you guys a very simple strategy that anybody can basically understand. Just knowing a strategy isn't going to be enough. You have to be effective in the way that you implement that strategy. Right? You got to be patient. All those things. But yeah, make sure you take profits. Whenever you take trades like that against the trend, make sure you be quick. Be stingy with those profits, right? Be quick and stingy. Get them off the table. Get them gone. Adam, USDT, Binance. I like Adam. But it's a lot. I liked it at $30. So that fact that it's back down here to 8, I like it again. The problem is the bear market over, right? That's everybody's question. Is this the bottom? Well, we don't have anything macro that would suggest that. So there's nothing to suggest that the bear market is over. Nothing at all. In fact, we still have a few things checking the box that we can see further downside, right? You have to have an overall you have to have an understanding of what's going on overall in order to take these positions. Right now, we're waiting on CPI. We want to see inflation start to trend lower, and if we could get positioned around July's low, and CPI starts to do that, you can have a fantastic trade that lasts a full on month. If you start taking out July's low, then we're wrong. All right, we're wrong. All right. So Atom USDT's into resistance. It's getting a slight pullback. So this is what I was looking for to happen with Bitcoin, right? Get a pullback on a monthly. And Atom's already pretty much done that. The problem with Atom is a lot of its move was also during June, right? The low of June. So, I mean, as far as looking for more upside on Atom, I don't, right? That's about as good as you can go. I mean, is it possible to get higher than that? Absolutely it is, guys, right? You can always go higher, you can always go lower. We don't know what price is going to do, but we do know where to look for trades, the high probable areas to take them. So we'll see what it does, but it's gonna follow Bitcoin more than likely. Bitcoin starts to get bearish again, so will this. And in fact, you've had 3 bullish weeks on Atom. 3 bullish weeks on Atom. If you start to get back under 875, it's gonna look like the short trade is in. Daily res is just a little bit lower than that. You did break out, you did get bullish continuation, but you're pulling back. I would like to see this thing remain above 875. Otherwise, it's going to look like bearish targets down to 813. It's bearish overall. You are just now getting above the 50. So this is going to look good for sellers on Atom, right? If they think the bear market's going to continue, you've checked all the boxes, you can start to sell. But I am not interested in a sell with it just yet. Not until it gets under 875, as that would be indicative of future moves to come. Oh, man, and it looks like you're heading for it now. So I'm going to beat whatever happens with the dollar, man. The dollar is just awful bullish. Very, very bullish right now. You're up almost a whole % on the dollar. That's a big move on the dollar. That's a big move on the dollar. Oops. Beating the mic. Please. All right. That's what we looked at. Good morning, Jordan. How are you, my friend? Jordan Miracle, not Jordan Lindsay. I feel that it is tolerant. H bar. Yeah. Yeah, H bar. Let's go look at it. My bad. Which one did you say? You didn't tell me, so we'll just look at Binance. Binance has got a lot of data. Alright, so it looks extremely bearish. You're at daily support, and it looks like it's trying to break down. You did get a bullish response down there, slightly, right? Tiny, but I mean, this has already been broken down, so this is new support right there. Because this high remained intact. This high remained intact. So that, to me, looks like this wants to go lower. This is your support candle. That's your support candle's high. So basically what I would have done is if this high would have been taken out, I would have reverted support right back to over here and then would have looked at this as a bear trap. But that is not what happened at all. So this is support. You're at support. If you think it's going to go higher, this is a level to do it. It's the level to do it. It's daily support. This thing is very, very, very spotty trading. That means that there's not much liquidity in it. All right, I do not like seeing this spotty action. I hate it. In fact, I stay away from pairs like this because you can get screwed up fills, partials, and all kinds of other crap. So I mean, it doesn't look bullish to me. It looks absolutely wrecked. You're trading at 90% off. You're at support, so I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It looks like it's trying to break down, but as long as 0.0614 holds, then you could get a relief rally. Again, this was a relief rally, right? That was your relief rally, and it got sold into. So it looks to me like it wants to go lower. Yeah, you're welcome, my friend. Looks like it wants to go lower. So be careful. I know a lot of people love all these cryptos, and they are cheap. I mean, it doesn't hurt to start adding to your portfolio as long as you understand the risk and the fact that you're in it for the long haul. I would much rather people buy cryptos that are 90% off than buy cryptos that are 10,000% up. Right? You do stand a better chance on hitting one that just for whatever reason just goes up 100x in a day, right? We see that all the time. Will H-bar do it? I don't know. But it's at support, daily support, the lowest support. Bitcoin looking like it maybe wants to hold for now. For now. We'll see what happens. You do have a support there, an intraday support there, and this is also an intraday demand. But you're right at the midpoint of yesterday's bullish range. So I like, if it gets down here, I like it for a bullish entry as long as it holds. Can one take a bullish entry here? Yeah, as long as you're not closing hourlies under it. You have a swing low to mitigate your risk on right there. It's going to do whatever the dollar's done. We want to see the dollar reverse is what we want to see. We want to see it reverse and start to roll back over. And we want to see that start to happen around 9 o'clock in the morning. Probably visit that wick down, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, that's my targets whenever I take positions, whether long or bearish. The wick low and the wick highs, those are always targets. And the reason it's a target is because it's a low. It's the low. So in order for price to go lower, it must take out that low. And the same goes for the bullish side. In order for price to continue higher, it's got to take out old highs. That's how the trend continues. Must take out old highs. But yesterday's price action looked extremely promising to me. It looked good. I did not partake in it because, like I said, I didn't trade at all over the weekend. Did not trade at all over the weekend. But that's what you want to see. You want to see price hold at support, then you want to see it blast off. Get a slight pullback into intraday support, hold that support, blast off again in the next day or two. Had a nice bullish day here, so today could remain choppy. Blah, 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 all day long. Maybe tomorrow you push down, take out today's low, then you get bullish again. That's 100% possible. So you don't even necessarily need to look for bullish entry today on Bitcoin. If you missed daily support, you do not have to take this, especially with that much bearish momentum staring you in the face. Right? It's not bad momentum. That's not a very big move at all. I mean, that is a legit pullback in my opinion. Anytime you get a daily range expansion and the next day pulls back into the midpoint or the 618, if it finds support there, then chances are pretty good you're going to have a expansion, retrace, expansion pattern. Right? Where you have a bullish candle up, bearish candle down, and then another bullish candle up, a 3-bar play, if you will. So, I mean, it is 100% possible. But we got to find a support level, a price at which support obviously is holding. We don't have that just yet. We do have what looks to be starting to shape out there. And then we know that, our last level, our last line in the sand is 19,509. Anything lower than that, we're not interested any longer for bullish entries. Till you get back down to daily support again. And if that happens, then I'm not liking it at all. I got long 19,471 yesterday. So that would be here. Wes, you got long right into resistance. What is wrong with you? Oh, wait a minute. So maybe you bought this. Right here, this pullback. Right there. Boom. That's not bad. I was thinking that, this was today. But it's obviously not. There's only 24 of these candles in a daily range. So, yeah, that's not bad, man. You did it at 9 o'clock in the morning, too. Not bad at all. Hopefully you took profits because you're getting really close to hitting your entry again. Oh, you did. I should have just kept reading. Took profits. 20K-ish. 2030. All right. Good job. That's the goal. You want to do that. Do that 3 times a week and you'll be golden for the rest of your life. Right? You'll be outperforming the S&P 500 if you can nail 2%, 2 or 3, 2% trades each. You're clocking out 6%. If you get 3, you're lucky. You're pushing 6% per week. If you can maintain that consistency, that hit rate, you're going to be among the greatest traders in the world. That's everybody's goal, right? To be among the greatest, to generate consistent profits. All right, so let's go here. Let's do something. We've already looked at the S&P 500. We looked at most Forex pairs. There's really literally nothing to do today other than watch Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. It's down 2%. Bitcoin's down 2.4%. Let's see what Ethereum did. Ethereum held daily support as well. Ethereum's in the middle of the range. But there was your entry on Ethereum, 1048.96. That was the bullish entry there, and then you would have wanted to take profits when you started to get up to this high, this candle's high. Take profits, move your stop to break even, see what happens. See, this doesn't look bearish at all. I mean, ignoring all of this, obviously, because that's very bearish. But this little bit of price action here. So essentially, all I'm trying to do is get people positioned close to the weekly low and close to July's low. Because if this does start to climb higher, then that's where you want to position yourself. That's why when we get new quarterlies, we get new monthlies, those are literally my favorite time to trade at the very beginning of a month. Because just think of this. If you can nail a high, especially if that month is going to be bearish, you could do some fantastic stuff. Right? Fantastic stuff. Remember this swing high? We nailed that. Boom. For the entire month. You got right in there at the high of the month. And that was done on FOMC day. FOMC day here, I believe. Yeah, May the 5th. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th was the day. That was also FOMC. We shorted that based solely on expecting it to be the monthly high, the high of the month, right there. Boom. So I'm trying to do that very same exact thing, only here, right? I'm trying to get positioned as close as possible to this low, looking for boom, up to, that swing low. Swoop. 25. That's not a bad trade. Well, we'll see if it happens. So keep the low on the chart, right? If we get lower than that, then I'm not looking for that to happen any longer. Because what you've done essentially is you've ran up and created the high of the month. And that is here. This is the high of the month. Because all of this was done in June. June. So here's July. So this was the high of July. Right there was the high. Then this hourly, that's your high of July. Right? Price comes in, sets in July's low. And what happens directly after that? You get an expansion, taking out the old July high. Now, understand that this is just in a couple days, but this is how the strategy works. You're looking to capitalize on the range expansion. What range? Doesn't matter. It could be the monthly range, the yearly range, the quarterly range, the weekly range, daily range. That's what we do. So what I see right now looks more bullish than it does bearish. You set in a high, you set in a low, then you took out the high. And I mean, technically, that's like where you're kind of finding support right now. Right? So we want to see, the July month continue what it's starting to do. And it's starting to show a little bit of bullishness. And that's why we're looking for longs. Last line in the sand for us is going to be this intraday support. If that happens, you got to wait for daily support again. But I don't think you're going to see daily support again. I just don't. I think it's going to continue higher. There is a nice chunk of liquidity to take out up there, so that can be the first bullish target. Then the next one will be up there, 2187, 21,871. So those are both bullish targets. Right? So we'll see if it happens. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't promise that this is going to find support. But we know where to look. And that will change your game. Alright, perfect. I do that shit 3 times a day, bro. Well, you're trading too much. I'm going to throw a cup at you is what I'm going to do, Wes. For you, anybody that's new, Wes, we've known each other for a couple years, so he knows I'm just playing with him. And he says just kidding, but I think he's telling the truth. Overtrading is one of the most difficult things for new traders to do, right? So, gotta settle down. Alright, it looks like we're gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. I will give you guys just a few seconds to throw in a comment if you want me to check something out for you, but we are, we're pretty good. Pretty set in stone. We know what we're gonna be doing today on Bitcoin. Alright? Jesus. Alright, so that's what we're watching. Last line in defense, 19,503. This is the area that if we lose it, we're going down, right? As long as that area holds, then we're going to be looking for bullish entries. And we want to see the month of July continue its expansion to the upside. Alright, GAR USDT, and then I'll wrap it up. And GAR USDT Sol. And I understand that the quality's probably shit. The frames are dropping like flies. Alright, let me move this up. Gary USDT. I've never traded this before. I am not familiar with it at all. It looks ugly. Very, very, very ugly. I don't know. What is this? Is this some kind of... I don't know what this is. It's obviously getting absolutely de-effing destroyed. You damn near went to zero yesterday. Damn near went to zero yesterday. It is getting wrecked. So this must be another one of those Lunas, right? Another Luna. It looks like maybe it was trying to be a stable coin. But, I mean, it didn't really peg to nothing. I don't know what it is. It's dunzos. Unless it can, find support, it looks really, really bad. Yesterday's candle is a 96% loss in one day. One day. The asset lost 96% of its value. Stay very far away from that. And then I'll look at Solana and then we'll wrap her up. Stay very far away from that. Solana did the same thing Bitcoin did. It looks like it's found daily support. You are on the lows. All right, so it's essentially trying to pick a bottom on Solana. Also, it found support at monthly support, which is good. That's what you want to see. Yeah, so watch daily support. Daily support is also monthly support. That's daily support there. So as long as you're trading above this candle's open, you should be fine. If you start closing, if you start trading back under 33.75, it's going to look bearish. Again, it's going to look like this is looking like that, right? Well, everybody wants it to be up, and it's possible that it is. So that's what you can look for. But I mean, if you throw any kind of indicator on this asset, it's going to show you that it's bearish, right? I mean, technically, this would have been a short for me. Or I can still look for shorts as long as it's trading under the 50 and under the 20. But it is another one of those things. If this is going to be an expansion for the month of July, then whoever got short is probably going to get stopped out. That's what you want to see. So your line to watch, 32.75. If you lose that with a daily close, then you're going lower. Next target would be 30. Let's just call it $30, and then after that, 28.50. All right. So you need to see this thing start to find support somewhere in this day's range. Otherwise, it's going lower. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. Not a whole lot to do on FX, so we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. That could change in FX, obviously. When we get closer to the New York session, it can absolutely change. But we are going to keep our eyes on Bitcoin. We know what to do. You guys go out there and do it.